It's a big day. We got a mid-season raid opening for the first time in quite a while. We have tiered raiding, which means we got a new raid opening up today. Feels like new content coming out. We also got new quest lines and everything to get into. A bunch of stuff to talk about. The raid numbers are in. We can finally see DPS rating numbers and rankings and everything from the first week of raid. So let's just jump straight in here. Midnight Season 1, Race to World First continues here. Everyone's right up to the start of March of Quel'Danas, which means this Race to World First is essentially a two-boss race now. We got Team Liquid out there doing their thing. They've already defeated Heroic Beleren. This thing has actually been nerfed, or I should say buffed in Heroic, so it's going to be a little bit harder, I guess, for the guys who haven't already killed it. Kind of weird there, but it's only Heroic right now, so the Mythic race is really what this is all about, and that hasn't been done just yet. Also, Midnight Falls, the final boss in the March on Quel'Danas, has been nerfed. Liquid is also the only guild that has currently killed this boss, so Team Liquid currently ahead right now, doing their little runs, right? Getting shit done and getting geared enough to actually enter Mythic. So as I said before, this Race to World First is going to be a tight one, so pucker up because we got a two-boss race for everybody to watch right now. Also, completing Battlegrounds this week will award you Hero Track Gear. This is for all the normal Andes out there, you know, just trying to get as much gear as possible. You can get yourself a Heroic Track ring or necklace right now by doing 4 different Battlegrounds. Now, I know a lot of you guys out there don't like to PvP, but it might be a good time to pull out the PP and try it for a little bit because it's a good week to get some shit done. You can get the Archmage Alpha Sun Reaver quest in Silver Moon City, and this will reward you with either of these two once completed. By the way, you upgrade that shit. I mean, you're going to get a 276 item level item there. So this is a really good one to get into. A lot of people probably still lacking in the ring or neck department, so this might be a good one to fill out your current gearing. Also, we got a new world boss up, right? New week, new reset. Thorn Balena. Yeah, so another world boss here. Go kill that thing and get your guaranteed piece of Warbound champion gear for that ult you never play, because it's really important to gear out those guys. Also, a new quest line has opened up because we got the March on Quel'Danas raid opening up. We got new bosses, new shit, new storylines. You'll get this storyline in the middle of Silvermoon here. It's a new campaign scenario, multiple cutscenes, what I'm hearing. I haven't done this yet. Going to get in and do it today. As a man of the people, I like to do these things in front of the people, so I held back on doing this quest line yesterday. But you get in, you do this quest line. Once you complete it, you actually get yourself a pet and a mount. So this is pretty cool, little pet, little mount here, the neon green Hawk Strider and shit. So you can get these, and as I said before, multiple quest lines, multiple story beats, uniting of the elves to take back the bridge and March on Quel'Danas. There's a bunch of shit going on here. So cool little storyline. I've been enjoying these things. I think they've been pretty good so far. The story overall has been pretty good, I think, in Midnight so far. When it comes to getting crests, right? I talked a little bit last week about some ways that you can get crests that don't affect your cap, your weekly cap, right? It's important to get crests right now as much as possible, to gear out as quickly as possible. Upgrading that gear and everything is really important. Well, one of the sources of crests that I told you in the past that were not applying to your cap, that's no longer the case. So, crests from your Nightmare Prey quest are now capped. So you can no longer... They now apply to the cap, I should say. So you can no longer do this quest on a week where you've already hit cap and expect to get more crests. That's not going to happen anymore. But there are still sources of uncapped crests, okay? Coil Face, thank you for the sub, man. 8 months of being a Death Knight Ever Scourge. I appreciate that. For those sources, you can still do the Nemesis Delve boss, okay? The Nemesis Delve boss, if you complete him on single question mark difficulty, holy camp, thank you for the follow, or double question mark difficulty, you will get 30 Dawn Crests for single question mark, or 30 Dawn Crests and 30 Myth Track Crests for double question mark. Now, this is only given to you the first time you kill him. If the first time you kill him is on double question mark difficulty, you'll actually get all these rewards combined, so you'll get 60 total Dawn Crests, 30 Myth Track Crests. Again, you could do this without doing it solo, okay? Everyone thinks, oh, I got to do the Nemesis boss solo. No, that's only for the achievement and everything that comes with killing the double question mark boss solo. But you can form up a group, kill this guy twice, or once on double question mark difficulty, and get this, and they will not apply to your crest. Okay, this is a one-time deal. It will not apply to your cap. You get these crests if maybe you're lacking somewhere and you need some upgrades, right? This is a good way to get some quick crests that are not applying to that endgame cap. Also, the cracked keystone is another way to get some quick crests, 20 hero and 20 myth track from this. You get the cracked keystone from doing a plus 11 delve. You go then to complete the quest. All you got to do is a plus 2 or higher myth track, mythic plus keystone dungeon, and you complete it. That's it. 20 hero, 20 myth done. So I mean, between these right now, you can get 50 uncapped myth crests. That's pretty crazy. And then I said before, this one's no longer the case. You can no longer do the Nightmare Prey weekly quest. That doesn't apply anymore here. Moving on to upgrades, boys. That's right. You have another charge to your catalyst. If you didn't realize this when you logged in today, you are now with your you've now gotten your second charge to the catalyst, which means now everybody's basically guaranteed at least a 2-set bonus. Okay, some of us are going to be getting our 4-set today. I'm looking at myself. I'm excited for that. But everyone else, maybe you've had just the shittiest loot luck around. Maybe you haven't raided at all. But now you can at least convert over to 2 pieces of your tier set. Don't forget, this season is different than prior seasons. You don't need to save your catalyst charges. I suggest you use them as quickly as possible. Get to that 4-set as fast as possible, and you'll start getting charges on a weekly basis. Blizzard's changed this to incentivize people to actually just go for the 4-set bonus as quickly as possible. Whereas before, we used to hang on to our catalyst charges, waiting for the perfect gear piece to change over, right? We were all waiting for a hero track gear to switch that over. So this is a good thing to do. Go do it as soon as possible. Get that bonus and start getting more and more catalyst charges as time passes. Sam Bricks LFR, that's fake lore. Fake lore, my chat. Not true. Not true. Moving on to the numbers, boys. We have some important numbers to get into here. We officially had our first week of raid opened up, mythic raid, and everything else going on with Void Spire and Dream Rift, and we finally have numbers. That's right. With Sam bricked a follower dungeon. Yeah, okay. Crazy shit happening in chat today. April Fool's on me, right? Overall dungeon damage. Let's look at this one here. We got our first week of overall dungeon damage for mythic raid, and Devour Demon Hunter absolutely devouring the competition, sitting here at the top with what looks like almost a 10% gap between them and the next guy, Survival Hunter. So that's pretty crazy. That's one of the biggest gaps I've ever seen at the top there. So Devour Demon Hunter is absolutely pumping right now. No surprise there. New class always comes in and fucking wrecks the game. So this will be rebalanced probably eventually. But behind them, we got Survival Hunter, Retribution Paladin, Marksmanship Hunter, Frost Mage, Windwalker Monk, Havoc Demon Hunter also up here, Elemental Shaman, Furry Warriors, Destra Warlock, Balanced Druids. It takes you at about mid-tier here. From the bottom up, let's see who's at the bottom right now. Who's on bottom? Who's a bottomer? We got Frost DK at the very bottom. They got a buff today of 5% across the board, so we'll see if they continue to crap these shitty numbers right now. We got Bestiality Hunter also at the bottom. No surprise there. They're usually bottoms. Fire Mage, Ass Rogue, Feral Druid, Arms Warrior, Arcane Mage, Affliction Warlock, Unholy, Death Knight, and Enhancement Shaman. Followed by Subtitty and Outlaw Rogue there at mid-tier. So none of the rogue specs really above mid-tier right now for raid. Kind of weird, but we also saw there's a lot of changes coming for rogues, so expect more things happening. Augmentation Evoker sitting mid-tier. That's not bad. This is for overall damage. Let's go check out what single target damage looks like here for raid right now. And we see overall boss damage. Now we see the real boys starting to shine here. This makes total sense. I've seen Unholy absolutely pump. We got Unholy Death Knight sitting at the very top, followed by Ass Rogue and single target. So overall damage, rogues aren't looking too well, but single target damage, we see Ass sitting in second place here for the boss damage overall. We see Elemental Shaman just behind them, Feral Druid, Retribution Paladin, Augmentation Evoker, Shadow Priest, and Subtitty Rogue, followed by Frost Mage, and then there's Havoc Demon Hunter. More mid-tier when it comes to single target as compared to overall damage, so they're not having as good of a time as they were from overall. Let's see who's on bottom here. We see at the very bottom, Survival Hunter at the bottom there, followed by Enhancement Shaman, Furry and Arms Warrior. Warrior's getting a bunch of changes coming in. I think Blizzard realizes their damage is kind of shit right now, especially with single target. So Furry and Arms sitting here at the bottom. We see Arcane Mage just above them, Outlaw Rogue, Frost Death Knight, Affliction Warlock, Devastation Evoker, Destro Warlock, Windwalker Monk, and Devour Demon Hunter, as I said there in the middle. So kind of some big differences here between what we're seeing with overall damage and single target boss damage, interestingly enough. Looking overall, we'll continue to track these as we move forward. Right now, we're going to get our first week of March on Quell Danas, so we'll see how that all pans out for Mythic rating. But for now, really, that is all in terms of news for the main shit. But we have some 12.0.5 PTR updates. That's right, 12.0.5 going live on the PTR. We've seen this before. This is really the final build now, so we could expect 12.0.5. Looks like it's going to hit on time. Remember, this thing is lined up to hit us in the spring with the Void Assaults, the Prop Hunts, and a few other things going live here. So we're going to get a spring patch for this. Also, one really cool thing that has now been data mined, guys, we're going to be able to pick how we hold our weapons. That's right. You get to pick how you hold your big, fat, chody sword. Whether you're going to put it on your back, on the sides, that's going to be completely up to you now with new sheathing options. You can choose whether you want it on your hips, on your back. You could even choose a combination of the two and look completely fucking stupid. But you could also pick, right, 2 different transmogs for 2 different weapons. You can even choose to have these completely hidden. So maybe you're a rogue and you like to store your daggers in a special place right up your behind. You can pretend an RP to do that now because you can actually hide your weapons completely, not having them sheathed at your hips or your back. So I think this is a cool thing. There's been plenty of weapons that I've actually transmogged into because they sheathed across the back, and I just thought it looked cool. So this will be a nice little change here. Sheathing at the hips or the back or completely hidden, that'll be completely up to you now. More transmogs options coming in 12.0.5 and a few other things. We'll continue to keep these things up to date. And for now, that is all in terms of news.